Hello there. Welcome to another edition of Gas It Out. We are in a fallow week again. Silverstone was a couple of weeks ago. We've got Aragon coming up the week after next. And we are, heading into murky waters, I think. We are dipping below the line. We're dealing with your comments that we've had. And I'm joined, as always, by the wonderful Neil Hodgson and Sylvain Gintoli. Do you know what? How are you boys, first of all? You right, Neil? How's the Isle of Man?
All good. All good, Gav. All good. Yeah.
SG, how's the Midlands?
Yeah, good. Thanks. All good. It feels a bit weird, this summer where we actually get a little bit of time off, so it's good. Been doing loads of training, getting ready for the Bordeaux next week. It's going to be a big one. So yeah,
you've got that next week. Neil, you're getting ready, I'm assuming, for your Ducati ride next week, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, get Ducati ride next week, which is quite exciting. So we'll have to see how that goes.
I've got my clipboard. I got my clipboard and stopwatch out, Sylvain. Don't you worry about it.
I'm coming to do the pit board, and we're going to look at lap times, compare sectors, and obviously with those bikes, you need to be sort of within 5 seconds, to really feel what's going on. So let's see how it goes.
Otherwise, you can't activate the tyres. I'll have your voice ringing in my ears as I tip into every corner, thinking I'm going too slow. I'm not activating the tyres. I'm going to have no grip. I'm going to high side. I'm going to lock the front on the brakes. Activate the tyres. Yeah. Okay. There's no point in lying.
One thing I have got that I'm taking with me is the number for A&E in Misano. Oh man, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for you, actually. I just want to laugh about one thing. Of course, as always, we welcome your comments. We've had loads of them, and that's why we just thought, why don't we just deal with all the comments? Because it's quite funny. There's been a big debate going on loads of things underneath our YouTube episode. A reminder, as always, that you can get in touch with us at Gas It Out Pod on Instagram and on YouTube as well. And below the line, there is a lot of discussion going on there. I'm just laughing at myself, right? Because someone put up last week, Anti-Platitude said, it's the White T-Shirt podcast, and I'm just looking at us. Look at the three of us. If you're not watching on YouTube.
We've done it again.
We've done it again.
Right, I'm taking my cap off. Taking my...
But we do that on TV as well. And again, we all turn up and we all have the same blue shirt on. Or it does happen, doesn't it? And even Sue's dressed up the same colour sometime. We just, don't know, it just happens, doesn't it?
All the muted colour T-shirts. What? I mean, as if we are not... Yeah, exactly. Completely as predicted. Just old men with plain T-shirts. That's right. Although I have noticed, Sylvain, you're rocking the branding. I had the A-Stars on, but you've got the Ugly & Co. And I saw your man Al from Ugly & Co. put out a little video last week. I tell you what's it raised? Nearly 50,000. That cap that you did.
Ridiculous. And that was Al's idea from Ugly & Co. So yeah, I was a fan of the brand before, but I'm a massive fan now. So yeah, I just love it. And how good is that for the charity for Al to have done that? Because he's so all the caps. It's not all the profits that have gone into the charity. It's actually all the income, all the funds that have been generated. So Al he's taking a hit with this as well. He's participating. Obviously, he's got you got the cost of doing the design, of producing the caps, of sanding them and all that, and the VAT and so on. So it was a very kind and a very nice thing to do. And since we met, we just got on. So I'm very, very proud of wearing the brand. I think it's I don't know, it just feels good doing it. Yeah.
And you're not being paid to do that. We know that. And that's just to make that clear for people at home. No. It's literally, and we are not being sponsored by Ugly & Co., but full credit to Al there and full credit to all the crew there for doing that. I think we all echo that.
Yeah.
50,000 donated to the Luca Foundation. Unreal. Hey, Sylvain, another thing is your helmet. We put the QR code up last week, and I know that probably didn't generate anything compared to it being on the TV as well. Fabio Quartararo's put it out there. You were raffling off a Fabio Quartararo limited edition, and when we say limited edition, there's one other, and that's one that Fabio has. His testing helmet from the start of the year. Have you done the draw?
Yeah, so the draw has been done, and so it ended on Sunday night, and right. So it on the platform the platform generates a random winner, which is brilliant. It's all transparent and it works really well. I've emailed the guy that's won it, but he's not replied yet. So
is it Gavin?
We'll see. Now, I don't want to say his name because I want to it with him first, because some people don't want, obviously they want to stay private. So yeah, but I've emailed him, and that's gone so well. I got to thank everybody that that participated as well. And it's one of those that you just, even if you lose, you win. Again, all the funds are going to charity, and whoever's going to win it, I mean, it is a proper MotoGP helmet. I don't know how many tickets the guy bought, but some people could win it, just buying a single ticket. So that's been amazing. £5 a ticket for one helmet that raised over £60,000. Unbelievable. So Fabio as well, Fabio Quartararo, what a kind thing to do. And it was his idea. He proposed it. So yeah, absolutely awesome. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, the email has not gone in the spams. And
check it. If you bought a ticket, check your emails.
Check your spams.
If not, honestly, if you need someone else to just take it, just as a, for a bit of show, we're more than happy to do it myself or Neil. We'll sell it. We'll sell it, Neil.
Yeah, we'll sell it. Yeah, definitely sell it.
It looked good at the back there, Gav, on your shelf. It looked quite good.
This is actually, do you know what? Someone commented about this. This is from Motorsport Republica, the Australian podcast. The guys did that. They gave me that helmet. They're the HSE. Shout out to those guys. They do a great pod. They are a couple of fans who do a good show in Oz. Right. I've had a couple of people ask about this as well. Right. Saying, are you still got that bottle of wine there? This was actually, we filmed a piece in Jerez last year. Okay, can you see it? We made individual wine bottles for everyone who was in the championship. From the sherry bottles they are actually. It's a Tio Pepe bottle.
Did you design it, Gav?
So it was designed by someone at TNT. Pepe, there was a guy. So they did these wine labels for each of the guys, and it's so cool. And so we got them all signed, and that one's signed by Pedro.
Hang on, it's empty.
Obviously, we had to neck it so we could take it. But genuinely, these are bottles from Tio Pepe. We had these individual. This is a one-off. No more of these. I mean, you can raffle that off if you want, Sylvain. I don't think anyone will want that. But anyway, it's an old wine bottle, Tio Pepe bottle, signed by the Shark himself. Because it was when I've done the what do you call it? The program that we did for TNT. Yeah. We never did that.
Hey, I've just checked my emails, and I've actually just got a reply from the winner. So he's got the email. Hi, Sylvain. I'm not sure if this is real. Oh, yeah. So he thinks it's a scam. I've sent you a message on Facebook. What do you need from me? Thanks. So I suppose I just have to reply to him.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Ask for his bank details, and then his credit card, and the last 3 digits on the back. Honestly,
just made a name
to do that.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny.
What's your mother's maiden name? And could you, just send me your card details? I'm going to reply to that like that.
Or
see how it goes. That'd be funny.
Send him your number, but say call me straight away. And then when he answers, do like a robotic sort of weird accent,
like an AI voice.
AI voice going, "Hi, thank you for contacting me directly. Obviously, this is Sylvain," and then ask him for his details. That'd be well funny. First of all, can I verify you by getting your mother's maiden name?
This is good. This is replied, so I'm pleased with that. Yeah, that's good. And yeah,
someone's in the loop already. All right, you can stop checking your spam. Yeah. It wasn't you, unless you're listening and it was you.
And it is person.
You. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought we should go because the video we did last time, well, it didn't get as many views as the average video. It got a lot of comments, and I thought we should go below the line. What do you reckon to that? Delving deep underneath.
Oh yeah, I like that.
There's a bit of abuse here and there.
Let's do that.
I quite like a bit of abuse. Yeah. We sort of rise to it.
We're used to that.
In fact, Neil, there was one for you about the fact that there was quite a lot for you. No, one. Neil Hodgson is fooling nobody. This is at Section 8. The only reason his private jet was delayed was because his Bollinger Special Cuvée wasn't chilled to his requirements. Care to respond, Neil?
Hang on, Bollinger. Do I look like a Bollinger drinker? I'm more of a Cristal type of, Magnums. We're not having any of that cheap rubbish. So, yeah, God, hey, if only. Hey, what's it like when we travel? 9 times out of 10, we're on like an EasyJet or a Ryanair. And what does everybody say when they see us? We'll be on a flight and we'll be like, just getting your bag up, you'll be putting your bag up, and somebody will go, bloody hell. Didn't think I'd see you on here. Thought you'd be on your private jet. We get that every time we travel, don't we? We're like,
actually, Josh replied to this chap and said, haha, to be fair, when I went to Le Mans 2024, he was on the same Olabe plane as me, economy KLM.
Hey, there you go. That's
us. Susie, however,
that's a different
a chauffeur to the airport. And 3
helicopter ride if it's not too far.
That's a different story altogether.
Sylvain, you've been getting a little bit of abuse as well. Do you know what? Me and Neil get abuse all the time. Talk about Marc Marquez usually is our main one. Why do you talk about him so much? We get it. Honestly, that is the most common comment we get. Sylvain, Neil, gets nothing. Unbelievably, of course. It
doesn't surprise me.
Sylvain gets no negativity whatsoever. It's funny. I've been searching.
And I've been trolling Sylvain though, so surely where am I going when I'm on fake accounts?
Yours are in the bit underneath where it says we are not showing these for the abusive comments that it is.
Okay, right, fair enough. Yeah.
But Martial Art said, I feel we should all chip in to get Sylvain better internet. And there was another.
I've been trying to get on top of that because, and I hope it's better for this one. And I think it might have come from the the VPN. So, VPN can slow down traffic. So I've turned it off for that one and see how that goes. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to get a hard wire. Because the connection, if I do a test, like you can do a internet speed test, it comes back really fast. So I'm not too sure why. So I've turned that off. Let's see how that goes. And then I'll plug it in. I mean, a VPN is a bit like if you got too much traction control into it, just holds you back in the corners. And there's nothing you can do. You're opening that throttle, and it's just not going, is it? It's like a Ducati in Silverstone.
I don't know about you, Neil. I didn't hear any of that. It just didn't come through to me. I don't know. So
all I heard was him saying, basically, when I'm away and I'm looking at these weird sites.
I need to hide my browsing history.
Exactly. That's all I was thinking.
Yeah. That would be also said, can we start a GoFundMe for SG's Wi-Fi as well? A few people were asking me about, do you remember I said last week about health and safety on the fish and chip van? I said how we went to film with Pedro Costa and they wouldn't, Thomas asked, could you elaborate on the health and safety not letting you get fish and chips on camera? It sounds absolutely ridiculous. I had another comment of someone saying, Crofty did it in Formula One. Why weren't you able to do
that then?
Oh, do you know what?
What was the reason, Gav?
It was a full-on computer says no. The manager of the whole compound said we weren't allowed to go near deep fat fryers and that you needed a 2 or 3 month training course to do health and safety and to be able to serve fish and chips. And it was like, and genuinely it happened. And we were stood there a bit like, oh, we've come all the way out here to do it. And then we were going to do the bar.
I mean, the fishes are dead.
And that's why I was stood in the bar.
They're not going to jump out the fryer, are they?
No.
You're not going to get attacked by a fish jumping out of the fryer.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And then because we were in the bar, Pedro couldn't do it because of Red Bull sponsorship, and it was a beer and a Stray Galicia. He's not sponsored by them and all. Do you know what? Isn't it annoying?
God!
Come on! Come on!
The good old days. Well, how many years ago was it? Like 10 years ago when we were in the campsite. Colin Edwards was pouring the beers. We were necking them, all live on TV, as you do.
I remember seeing you doing that, and I thought it was really good.
So
how good was that?
Was it me? We got launched up in that bungee as well, didn't we? Out at the end of the show.
I'll tell a quick story. It's a quick one, but it's funny. So we'd been and done that on the Friday. So we'd done the program from the campsite the previous 2 or 3 years, and every year what we did. It was BT Sport then. We'd get the riders involved. So I can't remember who asked me. They said, can you come up with an idea to get some riders involved? We'll get the Brits. So we had like Sam Lowes, Jake Dixon, and I can't remember who else. And I thought, right, what can I do that I could be able to beat them at? And I'm thinking, we could do like sort of like a putting game and I could practice it. And then I thought, because they're really competitive, then I thought, we'll do press-ups. Because everyone can do a press-up, but it's the sort of thing, if you practice press-ups, you can get really good at them. And so I started to practice at about 2 months' notice, and every day I was doing press-ups. And I got it so I could do 70 or 80 press-ups flat out, no problem at all. So we're all there live on TV, and I went, right, guys, as a bit of a challenge, we're going to do a press-up challenge, and you're going to go against me. And they're all thinking, we'll be able to destroy Neil. And do you remember it, Gav? I was like a machine. Obviously, I won because I've been practicing. I'm like, but it was like, I've not done a press-up for ages. So that's the sort of person you're dealing with.
And all those steroids they used to take as well.
I might have been injecting
steroids.
Yeah.
Was that the same weekend that you tried to get Sam to do it in his motorhome, and he did too many in his motorhome?
Yeah. So what happened with that was about 2 years before, right. And I was at Aragon with Alex Lowe's at the World's. No, it was. Sorry, we were in Sam Lowe's motorhome. Obviously, he was racing Moto 2. And it was the Wednesday night or Thursday night, and we're sat around joking, and we started talking about press-ups, and Sam said, I could bosh out 100 press-ups right now. So me and Alex Lowe's sat there, and we both went, bullshit. And he was like, what? And he went, I could do 100 press-ups now, no problem. I went, I bet you can't. So Sam Lowe's takes his top off, shock, and boshes out 100 press-ups. Don't get me wrong, he was struggling at the end. And we were giving him a load of grief. He did 100 press-ups. And for the rest of that weekend, he was in agony because when you've not done 100 press-ups, you know that you get the tear and all like the strain. But you're not going to believe this. He won the race. That was one of those races, Moto 2 races that he won. He checked out. Do you remember that? Aragon. Do you remember that?
By miles.
He won by like 8 seconds or something like that. So we put it down to the press-ups.
Well, there we are. There's something that you'd have to then do at every single race, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Going on from there, hurting yourself. Right. Just to go back, let's go and look at some of the comments underneath that we got on our YouTube video. There was a lot of people saying, here we go. David Boda 46. There were some nice comments, I will say, but we don't want to put those up there. If you guys published a book of excuses, I would definitely buy it. There was a few people saying that, actually. In fact, Phil Saunders said, a pod on the excuse book, perhaps. Mark won't feature in it because he always says it's his fault, which is true, actually. What are the best rider excuses that you've heard over the years? Have you got any that come to mind straight away?
There's so many. I mean, I know, I can't remember the exact details, but let's say someone like Eddie Lawson crashed in 1989. And during that period, Freddie Spencer had made a few mistakes that year and always blamed his contact lens and said, you see, what happened is I lost a contact lens. So Eddie Lawson crashed, and like in the debrief afterwards, someone said, what happened, Eddie? And he went, I guess I must have hit one of Freddie's contact lenses, that's a pretty good excuse, isn't it? And super sharp. Don't get me wrong, it might not have been Eddie Lawson, I can't remember, but it was definitely Freddie Spencer who'd lost a contact lens. And I think it was Eddie Lawson. So, I mean, that's as good as it gets.
That is funny.
That's a good business idea. That's a good business idea, isn't it? I mean, that would be actually a good book to
it'd be a really good book to get some stories together, wouldn't it? Hey, let's have a think about that. Yeah, hey, do you know what, though? You can also sell it to riders. Sell it to the riders so they can filter through and see if it's already been said. Yeah. That one, we've had that one. That one's gone already. You can't use that.
I mean, over the years, we've had some good ones. Obviously, you got your classics with the tires and that. That's probably the one they use the most. The one I really liked, like lately, was the Pecco Bagnaia one. When he crashed, I think it was in Austin, and he said he crashed because the bike was too good. And
That's a good one. That was
quite good. That was a good one. That
the bike was too
and I've never
perfect.
heard that one before. Yeah, it was. Yeah. This one was the first time I've heard it, and I thought, that's a really good one. That to come up with that. Yeah.
Another one, not that it's the obvious excuse when you say tyres. I'm not going to name the name of the rider, but this rider's raced for a lot of years. He still races now. And it's funny, my dad would always call me up after the weekend and go, said rider's excuse was, he'd no rear tyre left. My dad would always say to me, when's he going to learn that that's not an excuse, that's on him. That's his responsibility. You've got the throttle in your hand. You think about, obviously, BSB's just been in Thruxton, where you see that's a track where if you ride round and give it full beans for 2 or 3 laps, you're going to end up battling for last. So it's it's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's loads more. We've got someone commenting about. I like this one. I think we should talk about this. Let's have a break and talk about this. Neil, wise up, Neil. I do like this from Motorman. Toprak, a potential title favourite next year. What a load of rubbish. No excuses. He'll do a bit better next year, but come on, guys, let it go. He'll never win a title. We'll take a break. When we come back, Neil's going to answer. Right, we teased it up before the break. Welcome back to Gas It Out. Motoman, I do like it. It's actually, I will give him a bit of credit because I'm not. We do appreciate all comments about this, and it started off a bit of a discussion actually. But Motoman said, and the full comment is: "Wise up, Neil. Toprak potential title favourite next year in any scenario. What a load of rubbish. No excuses for Toprak. Anyone seriously still holding out for him to go from last to first with these magic Pirelli tyres?" Crying face, laughing emoji. It's been an entire off season with more testing than anyone, plus half a season, and he's still not adapting. He'll do a bit better next year, but come on, guys, let it go. He'll never win a title. Now, Josh replied, at Josh Vira said, hard to tell if he's adapted when the Yamaha is that bad. How much of what we're seeing is Toprak and how much is the bike? Motoman comes back and said, yeah, but he was sold as something he's not. If he was an all-time talent, he'd be way better. Josh disagrees. Look how Lecuona's been when covering for Alex Marquez. Is Lecuona better than Toprak? Etc., etc. It goes on. So Motorman feels Toprak's not going to be a contender. Josh is sort of defending and saying, look at what Lecuona does when Alex has been there. You can understand Motorman's point, first of all, can't you? We actually, I will say, and we're all massive fans of Toprak, but maybe expected a little bit more. Like Jack is more often than not beating him. But what do you think on that, Neil?
Yeah. And I get Motorman's question. First of all, just to clarify, I don't remember saying that he's going to be a title contender next year. I think he'll do loads better. And I think we all hope and agree that he will do loads better next year. There's one thing about Toprak. He is super talented, but so is 90%, well, the whole of the MotoGP grid. There's no one slow, is there, at all? What's happened this year, what it looks like, if you think how the season started, obviously straight away the Yamaha's the worst bike. Clearly, you're going to be battling for last. What Toprak did, it's like he started the season with a lot of enthusiasm and a point to prove. Unfortunately, the last few rounds, it looks like he's lost his way a little bit, which that's the reality of doing MotoGP. Can
I just say, Neil, I think you both said that at the start of the year. I think you both said the one thing he needs is the motivation to stay throughout the year, for someone to be in his corner going, don't worry, it's about next year. Yeah. I honestly, I'm sure it was one of our first pods. It was
we did. Yeah, we did say because that. It's relentless. 22 rounds.
I actually said it to
championship.
him. I said it to him when the first time I saw him at the start of the season. And it's a hard thing to say, but I thought, because obviously I know him from the last couple of years at BMW, being the test rider, and so I know him enough to tell him. And when I saw him, I said to him, I said it gently, but I said, look, welcome, and I said we all know that the talent and it will shine at some point, but just this year, if I can give you an advice, just be patient. Be patient, learn the tracks, and I know it's going to be super hard and a very long season, but just trust me, it will all pay off next year. And it's easy said, but I thought I've got to tell him because I don't want him to go out all guns blazing, not be competitive because it's impossible with the Yamaha, and we knew it from the start, and hurting himself. I just don't want him to hurt himself because I do think that next year, 100% agree with you, Neil, he's going to show so much more next year on the Pirellis. And I think this year it's probably gone even a little bit worse than I thought, but I never thought it was going to go well, because it's a question of style, it's a question of gelling with the package and especially gelling with the tires. And the characteristic of the Michelin tires in MotoGP are completely the opposite of what Toprak needs. And that's just the reality. And another reality is that it's one thing to, and it's a mark of the greatest talents to adapt and to compensate for your natural riding style and adapt to the conditions and adapt to the technical regulations and adapt to what you've got underneath you. But you cannot change and no matter how hard the riders try, you cannot change the instinct of your riding style. You can change little things, the approach, and you can adapt a little bit, but you cannot change the DNA. And the DNA of things for Toprak is to make up of that time in the braking zones and to have the bike up in the air. And this is completely impossible with the Michelin tires. It's physically impossible. The front locks before you can do that. So we knew that all of these ingredients were going to make it a hard season for him, and I'm actually quite happy that I did say that to him at the start. I don't know if he's listened or not, or I don't know how much he took on board, but probably not, probably nothing. But I just thought
no, as in it looks like he's getting his head. His head's going down now. That's what it looks like. When I joke when I say he didn't listen to you. I'm sure he did listen, but do you know what I mean?
He's waiting. Maybe he's just waiting. Maybe he's really understood that he wasn't going to happen. This year.
Quick one then, just to interject. Where's he going to finish next year, team?
It's all going to depend on the 850 Yamaha.
Yeah,
it's hard to predict because of that.
I know that. Let's say the Yamaha's competitive. Where's he finishing? Gav, I'll start with you.
Thanks. All right, Neil. Cheers. I could see him top 10s and I think it'll be a very much up and down year. I think next year is going to be a bit like that. First year of a new formula, you tend to find that. But it all depends on Yamaha. And if the Yamaha
it's not going to be a top bike, is it?
Well, I don't
not.
think so. I don't think it can. I don't think it can be when Ducati, I think, will have 6 very competitive motorcycles up there. I think you've got to look at the current form. And Aprilia, you've got to look at the current form. What I will say about Yamaha compared to Aprilia, for example, although Aprilia do have World Superbike knowledge in the bank, Yamaha have got it more recently. They've got more recent data about what things are doing, that kind of thing. They've got banks of data on MotoGP, but still, that puts Ducati ahead of all of them. Still, and so I'd say top 10s, top 5s on occasion. I think there will be moments. I think he will get moments. I'd go back just to what Paul Espargaro said last week. What we spoke to Paul, the three of us, sat down with Paul a few weeks ago while he was actually injured. And then he spoke about it when we were in Silverstone, and he said that, oh my God, I had to relearn the bike. I've been on these bikes for 10 years. I've been testing them. I've been on the Michelins for 8 years or whatever. But the 850s on the Pirellis, it's a different sport, essentially, is what he said. It is a different sport, and you're going to need to relearn. He said the rookies are going to be super competitive. Okay, he's Daniel Gardo's manager. He's got a vested interest in the rookies go well. But they are going to be on, because you guys say it all the time, and the riders say it, the tyre is the biggest element that's changing for next year. And there's people like Bulaga coming across with recent Pirelli experience, and all the Moto2 riders have recent Pirelli experience on the racetracks that we're going to be on. They've got knowledge of how these tyres work, how you get them up to temperature, how you deal with them, that they're going to go off, how you need to ride, yada, yada, yada. And so, you're going to have already 5 rookies. One of them on a Ducati. Oh, a couple of them on a Ducati, aren't they?
2 of them on a Ducati, yeah.
With Daniel Gardo.
Here's a question for you, Neil, that I've got. With the bikes like being smaller cc, so less power, less torque, the 850s, and the Pirelli tyres, do you think that the size of the riders is going to become more important, as in like the size and the weight of the riders? Do you think that this is going to have a real big impact? Because that could go against Toprak, actually, because he's quite tall, isn't he? He's not heavy, but he is very tall. He's skinny. I mean, he can't lose any more weight, but he's still. No. I think he's just above 70 kilos. He's about 70 kilos.
Yeah, he'll be in a situation where he'll be giving away 8 kilos to someone, nearly 10 kilos to some riders.
To the average to the average rider.
To the average, it'll be probably like 7 maybe or 8. But there'll be the odd rider that it's 10 or 11 kilos. So yeah, I do. And like you said, when you meet Toprak in the flesh, and he's a normal size sort of 5'11" gentleman, but he's as lean as it's not like he can't lose any more weight. In fact, when I was talking to him the other week, he's lost weight this year, trying it, just anything he can to just gain 0.0
he's taller than that.
of a second.
Is he? I think he's over 6 foot. Yeah, he's very tall, and he's obviously because he's tall. He's already very light for his height. Basically, he's just
70
under 11
kilos.
Stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 11 stone, and he's 6 foot something. So it's going to be a tough one.
Who's the lightest MotoGP rider then currently? Did you say Enea?
Next year will probably be Alonso or Gado.
Alonso potentially. Yeah, Gado's quite stocky, isn't he? Alonso's beefed up, I have to say. But
they're small.
Enea's short,
they're not tall
as well.
They're short, yeah.
What will Bastianini weigh? 9.5 stone.
I don't know what that is.
Bastianini is a bit stocky as well. He's quite muscly.
Because him and Martin are about the same height, aren't they?
Yeah.
Martin is light. Martin is very light. Augura is very light.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it, see if you can see it.
Here he is.
It's not always accurate though. Yeah. But Augura would be light. He's skinny and he's not tall either. He looks tiny on the bike, doesn't he?
It's saying Martin's 63 kilos and he's 5'5".
Sounds about right.
I'd say be a bit smaller than that. I think that's a lie.
Yeah, but you always lie, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, same. I lie on the height, on the weight, and especially on the age.
I wonder what you're going to say then.
Yeah.
that we can say on air.
No, I don't need to lie on that one. But the
next question
age,
you have 100%.
Here he is. Lie all the time.
Here he is.
So go on then, chaps. You threw the question out. Where is Toprak going to be next year then? Go on.
I think he'll
cupping flack.
No. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I'll say it again. I never said he was going to win the championship next year, and I think he'll go a lot better. I'm going to say if the Yamaha's competitive and there's not it's by far the worst bike, I'd say he's going to finish around about 10th in the championship. And just like you said, Gav, there'll be races where he's battling up at the front in the mix, and there'll be the races where he's battling for 12th. Out of 22 riders, I think that'll be a really good second season. Hopefully then he'll have gained some confidence, some understanding, and then year 3, you'd hope he'd have a chance at battling inside the top 5, and then if you're inside the top 5, you've a chance. But also, I will say, I can't, and I'm not going to totally disagree with myself, but I can't sit here and think he's going to win a MotoGP world title. I'll probably say I don't think he is going to win a MotoGP title, unfortunately.
What about you, Sylv? What do you think about Toprak next year? Come on, we've got 5 rookies who are on Pirellis. One of them is coming across from a Ducati in World Superbike in Bulega. And then you've got the existing riders. You've got all the ones that are currently riding. You've got the people who are going to be able to test a little bit on them this year. Your Marc Marquez's, your Marco Bezzeckis, for example. Go on then. Where's Toprak going to slot in all that?
I think it's going to be tough. I think within Yamaha, he's going to have really strong competition. So this is going to be his real competition with Martin and Augura on the factory bike. Guevara is not been announced, but it's going to be Guevara alongside him, which
it's not easy, is it?
What a lineup Yamaha have got! What a lineup!
They've got a great lineup. Great lineup because
best
you've
lineup.
Got the top right.
Oh no,
super talent on the Pirellis.
Mark and Pedro. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So so there's that, and then the other thing is I do think that next year it's going to be a lot about the bike, about how competitive is your bike and how your manufacturer is going to adapt to these new specs and these new tires, like how quick they're going to get up to speed. And Ducati's got massive advantage. They've got 6 bikes on the grid. Because they've got all the experience from World Superbikes, and so they understand that tire already. It's going to be the same tire of very similar spec that they use there. So you've got that, and then you've got the Aprilia that looked already super fast in Brno when they ran that test. Where is the Honda? We don't quite know. Where's the KTM? We don't quite know. But you can't expect the Yamaha to be better than the Ducati or better than the Aprilia. Already, that's 10 bikes. That's 10 motorcycles.
Yeah.
So that's your top 10.
So where do you think he's going to finish, Sylvain?
I mean, it's a long-winded answer, this.
Jesus Christ, get to the point, will you? Answer the question.
Well, it's going to be in between 10 and 15. That's my answer.
And Sylvain, that would be a progression.
And if he can beat,
obviously,
and be a progression, especially if he can fight with the top Yamaha guys, because the top Yamaha guys are no mugs, are they? I mean, you got your championship leader currently, a world champion, a MotoGP world champion, Jorge Martin. You've got Aogura, that is an absolute machine, and you've got Guevara, that is doing very, very special things at the moment on the Bosco chassis in Moto2. So. Yeah,
the only one who really, really is showing up every week, isn't he, at the moment? Isan Guevara. Go on then. Of the rookies then, what we talk, I know MotoGP are profiling them they've been doing it over the summer, but of those 5 rookies coming in next year, who is going to fare best? What's their ranking?
Bulega.
Bear in mind that we just to clarify, we know we've not had confirmation of everyone. Bulega hasn't been confirmed yet, but we're pretty sure he's coming across. And then coming up from Moto2, we've got Isan Guevara, as you mentioned there. Danny Olgado, we've talked about. He's going to be at Gresini. David Alonso at Honda. We don't know whether that's Honda factory or Honda LCR. It doesn't make a difference. Ultimately, in theory, they all get the same. And it looks like being Senna Aegis as the fifth of the 5 rookies next year. So go on, which way? How do you see them faring?
Bulega, 100%.
Bulega, 100%. Bulega is, and it's so funny because we spoke about it on the last podcast. Sylvain's got me so excited about this. I'm fully engaged. I'm locked in. I've bought into this. Sylvain's so sorry to me. Bulega's going to be battling for the title next year. There you go. I've said that, and you can all rewind in a year from now. Go, God, you don't know what you're talking about. I've taken the bait, but I believe it because the Ducati is going to be the best bike, I think. And Bulega's going to develop it around his riding style. So Bulega's going to be the number 1. Then it's going to be an interesting battle, I think, between Daniel Gardo and David Alonso, who are similar talented, but one's going to a Honda, one's going to a Ducati. So you'd have to say, I think the Ducati's going to be the best bike. So I'd say probably Olgado. So I'm going to have Bulega, Olgado, Alonso, Senna Aegis, Isan Guevara. That's how I'm going to rank them before they turn a wheel.
If we look at even a little bit further than that, if you think Bulega, if he does perform like we think next year, that will reopen the gate from World Superbikes. And how good is that? Because so you're going to have the Moto2 bridge that is going to be a lot closer because of the tires, and essentially the MotoGP bikes are going to be, just slightly faster and bigger Moto2s. That's the reality. And then if Bulega does well, that sort of gate that was almost closed. I know we've had Toprak last year, but that gate reopens because suddenly, if you've got a very special rider or somebody that can do special things in World Superbikes, they're gonna, and they're young enough, they're gonna come back into the radar of those MotoGP team managers and manufacturers, and that'll be exciting, won't it?
Yeah,
I don't know. It could increase the following and broaden a bit what's happening in World Superbikes. So hopefully it happens, and I think it will.
If it is a different path, for people to be able to come across, I think I'm all for it.
It'd be good for the Brits.
That's what I was thinking.
Neil, you might be negotiating Alex future contracts in MotoGP.
In MotoGP.
Who knows?
I think Alex might just be on the wrong side of 30, unfortunately.
Yeah, 35 now,
How old is Bulega?
Yeah.
Do you know?
About 26.
How old is Bulega?
26.
Oh, right.
I was going to guess.
But it is about
maybe
that, yeah.
He might be 27.
Do you know what? It just one of the comments we got underneath last week, and it was not about next year, it was about this year. And it was about you there saying, Neil, you can rewind, you can come back, you can throw this back in my face. And Martin McMartin said, what a year. Every race weekend, I'm sure who the champion will be. And it's never the same person. And I couldn't empathise or feel that is such a good comment.
We are the same.
Whatsoever. Because we are the same. Because there were points Neil wrote off Marc Marquez. I was pointing that out earlier on in the season. Sylvain keeps reminding you. And then he's back in. And now we were just talking on before we started recording, about the latest Inside Ducati. We do love that show. How Mark sort of gave off the impression like, oh God, as in he really, really was, hurting, In fact, there was a comment from Professor Gascan. Sylvain mentioned the flyway races will be good for Marc Marquez, but I have my doubts. There may be favourable tracks for him, but those races come thick and fast. His right arm is effed.
That's a fair point.
The point was it's back to back, the recovery time, and all these sorts of things, but we all definitely before the summer were like, well, it's Mark's. They might as well all pack up and go home. They might all do it. One race under where Raul Fernandez wins, and we're all saying, it's not his anymore. It's Martin. But things could all change then when we go to Aragon.
Mark struggled so much in Silverstone. He was just, he got destroyed by Alex, his brother. He got destroyed by Di Gianantonio. So he didn't get destroyed, but he got beaten. He was slower than them in pace. He had to force and push, and it burned its tire more than them. He couldn't manage the race as well because his pace was just not as good. So. Yeah, we never rule him out because we know what he's done in the past. But really, that comment is so fair, and it does make a good point of where is Mark, where is his real form. Only
do
he
you
knows.
Always talk about Marc Marquez?
About Marc Marquez,
Sylvain, can you not just give it a rest
for 1 minute?
He's my man. All right, he's my man. Don't try and piggyback now, boy.
Go on then, Neil. Is he going to win the championship then?
Well, do you know what? When you chatting then, I was thinking, so many previous years, as you're getting into the second half of the season, you can usually predict who's going to win. You've got it's pretty close, isn't it? Where now, if someone said, right, put £1,000 on the table, big mouth, get your money out and name your winner. No, thank you. I'm not. I'm not losing £1,000. There's absolutely no way.
The odds are losing it are quite big.
Too big. So you're like, no,
because we don't know.
No, exactly, which is brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't know is the answer. I have no idea.
So it should be. Right. Yeah. We're going to take another break, but when we come back, I'll put my teeth in for this last bit. There were so many comments, and we did ask for people's opinions. I'll remind you, at Gasset Out Pod on Instagram and YouTube. Sorry to bang on about it, but this is how we develop comebacks or shows like this where we can come back to your comments. So many people about Silverstone. So many people who were there and had great times. So many people were there and had, queried about it. So many people who weren't there and had their 2 penneth worth to say about it. We'll come back to those comments in just a moment. Welcome back to the final part of Gas It Out this week. We're a week and a half after the British Grand Prix, a week and a half before the Grand Prix of Aragon. Will the title take another twist then? We'll find out in due course. But we ask for your comments at Gas It Out Pod on YouTube and Insta. Get into our DMs there on Instagram. Go below the line. This is what we're doing this whole episode, going into the comments that you've made. So many people responding about, we asked, come on, what was your experience? We Sylvain, Neil flew in his private jet. Sylvain helicoptered in. Oh no, you rode in, didn't you? You rode in on your, what was it? Ducati Panigale limited edition one that you had, that you rode in on Sunday. Was that what you had?
GS, no, my GS. On my,
sorry, forgot about the sponsors. Forgot about the sponsors, sorry.
To be fair, and I don't think I would have said that before trying it. That GS is so good. It does everything well, and it's got pannies. And I got to sit. No, but listen, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this.
Just to clarify, 100% he is getting paid to say this. But go on, Sylvain. Go on, make it a bit more sincere.
I'm not. Well, I mean, the bike is being lent for free. It's a freebie. But
you're not paid off BMW, though, are you? You don't get paid anything ever off BMW. You don't. No. Okay.
Am I? Oh,
right,
maybe.
Anyway, tell me about heated grips.
Tell me about this free bike.
Yeah,
heated grips. But that everybody knows. Do you know he's got heated seats for the winter? Heated seats. I mean, really. And so obviously I didn't need it for Silverstone because the weather was so good. But I got to Silverstone with my, I mean, you know, we wear like the shirts and everything and looking smart on TV. So I got my shirt in the panniers, got there. I even got Fabio's helmet because the Fabio helmet that we raffled, because the auction went so high, I didn't want to leave its site. So I didn't want to leave it at the track. I didn't want to leave it at home. I don't want nobody to steal it. So I traveled everywhere and I sleep with it. It's in my bedroom. I don't sleep with the helmet, but it's in the bedroom. So anyway, I don't want to leave it aside. So I had Fabio's helmet.
Caroline wears it to keep you away.
No.
And I got to Silverstone all the way through the traffic. It was lovely. It was comfy. It was just nice. I got there, parked it right next to paddock, put my motorbike and special jeans. I've got special jeans. I've got protection and stuff. My boots, everything goes in the panniers. Got my shirt out, got dressed, straight through to the TV.
Gav is still going. He's still doing this advert.
It was just so good. Yeah. I mean, this was the best bit of the whole weekend. Loved it.
Gav, is this not just generally? Is just to explain what actually using a motorcycle? That's what you can do.
Yes.
You've not said anything that I'm like, I didn't realise that. Wow, Jesus. Welcome,
ladies and gentlemen, to Gas It Out, brought to you this week by the BMW GS. Great for all your biking needs. As if everyone who's listening to this hasn't already got one, because that's the only bike I see pretty much at the moment out on the road.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm talking about it like it's the new next best thing, and I'm only talking about riding bikes, but it is good to ride bikes. It's just so good, isn't it?
Sylvain, we love your passion. We love it. Actually, there were a couple of people saying that they had a good day at Silverstone. I have to say, a lot of people were saying that. A few people weren't so complimentary about things. I think we should go through some of the comments. We've got so many. But a couple of people mentioned free bike parking, which I think is a good thing. I know they charge a lot for car parking, but free bike parking, that's a good way to go, isn't it? Right, shall we just go through some of the... I'll be able to... We had my first time at Silverstone. I enjoyed it. I also love Donington, but we know it will never return there. Yeah, I think it could potentially return there, actually. But I still think infrastructure-wise, they need to do a few things more. A few corners they'd have to address as well. We saw that.
It's too small.
Yeah.
It's too small for MotoGP.
Yeah.
You literally use, in Donington, you use 4 gears. I mean, it's too small. That's the problem.
Yeah, but Sachsenring's too small, and we go there every year. You could go to Donington. You would have to. I think you would have to change a little bit of runoff in a couple of spots. But
hey, we're gonna go to Adelaide. There's been a leak of what the track's going to look like. I mean, it looks a little bit slow. As what we expect, though. It's what we're going to get. Yeah. We know we're going to get that. Yeah. The question is whether that's going to go ahead. I know there's been a few protests recently. Right. Let's go through some of these comments. At Lee. Said £37 for 2 small burger and chips is a little bit steep. I had a great day, but until we have a top British rider, Silverstone is going to struggle. Bring back Donington. Well, we've just discussed that. Yeah, this was a good one from Nemesis. It actually went on a lot longer. This Silverstone felt cheap this year. Entertainment and merch spread everywhere. Difficult to find things and a nightmare if you have mobility issues. Does Silverstone need a rethink? I think that's a fair comment. I did actually. There was another comment that somebody made. Here we are. Jim Stevens said it. Disabled access, absolutely diabolical. Obviously, we can't speak to that, but that is just a no-no, isn't it? That we should be at this stage, especially somewhere like Silverstone. Actually,
yeah, because it's so got vast. The space. Yeah, but they've got the space, and you can't believe that's even an issue in this day and age, can you? You can't believe it.
Yeah, that's out of order, obviously.
Suppose you have to go if you wanted to go in the public bit and then go out of that, you have to go across the bridge. And so, if you are disabled, how do you do that? It's crowded, and the path is not very wide, is it? To go across that bridge.
Yeah. So that's the need to rethink there. Clearly, Silverstone greedy, entirely to blame. Superbike at Donington costs less for 4 of us with paddock access and 1 MotoGP ticket. Is MotoGP pricing itself away from traditional bike fans? Again, one thing I will respond to that on that one, because it is an expensive ticket. Actually, if you compare it to Europe, similar kind of prices to what you're getting at a lot of the European Grand Prix. And I suppose, I don't know, is it going, this is going to sound really harsh, but is it like going to a league? I'd expect to pay more for a Premier League match I'd expect to pay more actually to go to watch Arsenal than I would to watch Leeds, and they're in the Premier League. But I'd also expect to pay more at Leeds than I would going to somewhere in the Championship or in League One, or when I go to Harrogate Town when it's going to be a National League. I expect that I'll be able to go there with my kids. So there are levels in it, aren't there? Is that I don't know, is that me misunderstanding things? What do you reckon?
No, I think
that makes sense.
That makes sense. I think the burger sounded expensive for what was it? Burger and chips at £37. I mean, that's what stings people. I think people are let's say, aware that they have to swallow the cost to watch their heroes in live and have a memorable experience. It's when they've already got you inside that you feel like you're being taken advantage of by ridiculous prices. I think that seems a bit frustrating.
Dominic Crusho said, you lot are nuts if you think MotoGP prices are extortionate. Compared with F1, they're absolutely peanuts.
Which is true. That's incredible. Have you heard about how expensive it is for F1?
Yeah.
And obviously it's a sellout.
It's 500, over 500,000 people came over the race weekend, didn't they?
And like, it's your cheapest ticket, like 300 quid or something.
Yeah.
For F1.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I was there Saturday and Sunday with friends. We all had a brilliant weekend, and the value ticket-wise is much better compared to the F1, another one.
That's so good to hear.
There was Phil Saunders. I like this one. It went on a bit longer than this. Basically, he said, I'm going to sound like an old fart here. Racetrack. I'm going to go through his full comment, actually, because I really enjoyed it. I'm going to
Can
sound
you
like
do a voice? I like it when you do a bit of a voice. I
don't want to upset Phil.
Okay,
it's a good comment. I'm going to sound like an old fart here. I'm going to do an old noise. And I probably am. I used to go to racetracks back in the day. Burgers were fatty and cheap. You could get close and smell the fuel. Gorgeous pit girls all over the place. And you could get your helmet serviced, not by the girls, while you watched the racing. Phil! Excellent merch stands that weren't overpriced and British stars to cheer on. Then came telly that wasn't cancelled because the bowling ran over, and I realised a subscription to listen to you guys was way better and I can have a beer. Then it got a bit famous. The BBC showed it. What happened then was, if you missed it, you'd hear who won on the radio before you watched it. Here we go. This is the bit I like. It was at the end there. Let's not get too excited about it getting famous again. I love watching and listening to you boys commentate, and I don't care if the numbers at the track are crap. So he's been through a whole journey there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it was great back in the day, but times changed. Enjoy it. I quite like that.
Yeah, I agree with everything he says. That's exactly how it was back in the days, in the 80s, in the 90s. It was a bit like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Jim Stevens said, tickets were a good price for what I experienced, and parking was fine. The only thing is half the track is forgotten about. The old start straight, there was nothing. Overall good, but yeah, I suppose if you are over that end, we went down there, didn't we, to the BRDC, Neil? Oh, Sylvain, you went up there as well.
There was a Moto 4 there, wasn't it? The Moto 4 and was it the Harleys that were there as well on the national?
Yeah, the national. Yeah, the Harleys were in that national pits. But you're right, there might not have been as many stands there. They concentrated it all into that area, didn't they? And I think that's why, because it's such a vast place. If you are at the other end and the stage is where it is, as you come into the main entrance on the right-hand side, where would it be? On the outside of Abbey, isn't it? On the outside of those corners.
Yeah.
So it's just a big track. It's vast, isn't it?
Mm.
And so it's going to be hard, isn't it? Until there's enough people
they
going.
Get bigger. Exactly. Until you get much bigger crowds, you're going to need another 50,000 people before they start spreading the concession areas out.
They were running buses though in between both paddocks, weren't they? I saw quite a lot of like double-decker buses that were going, from the paddock, so the paddock area and all the hospitalities and stuff, and then onto the public as well, and back and forth. But I don't know how efficient that was. But they were. Yeah.
No, I think they were. Yeah.
This was one I quite liked. A good pair of binoculars is a must. I wouldn't attend Silverstone if the tickets were free. DVD Laughing made that comment, but obviously wasn't there. This was another one here. I like this, made me laugh. I was just reading through and some of these were making me laugh. Dara Finnan said, fact, spend your money and go to another GP. Silverstone is shite. I went there in 2012, never again. Let's call a spade a spade. Stop BSing everyone.
Well, that's 15 years ago though. that's a while back.
Then this person responded to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went to Silverstone. It was great, free bike parking, great atmosphere, plenty of merch, things to look at off the track. If you didn't go, wind your necks in with all the negativity. They're all arguing.
Yeah, that's arguing. Everybody's arguing. I mean, you can sometimes as well. You can get into like a negativity sort of, people that don't go, that read comments, and then they think it's crap, but they've not been for 15 years. So I don't know. I think there's still a lot of positive comments.
Yeah, and also I would recommend, if you've not been for 15 years, it's worth giving it another go. Like we obviously talked about in the last pod, it was a great. Obviously, it helped with the weather, but it was a great atmosphere. It felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, Ian Manor said without Silverstone there wouldn't be a British MotoGP, which is a hot topic. Actually, is a question mark. If, is that gonna? Is there anywhere? There isn't really. This today. Without money being spent, which, let's face it, is not. They're paying a cheap price at Silverstone, I know, for their fees. They've got another 2-year deal that's coming off the back of it. So I want to support the sport, whoever in the UK, whether it be BSB, whether it be going to World Superbike, whether it be coming to MotoGP. So
I tell you where would be amazing, and obviously it's never going to happen. Imagine, and it was mentioned on the weekend, if you could host a MotoGP race at Thruxton, oh my God, it would be so entertaining because it's so different, such a weird, quirky track, brilliant track. But the runoffs are really questionable in lots of areas. But if you're hosting a MotoGP, oh yeah, exactly. When I saw that, as soon as he clipped Leon Haslam, I knew exactly where he was heading, and I know there's no runoff there. There's like 2 meters of grass, and then you're into the rector cell. So thank God that were there. But what a track!
Racing was good though. Create good racing. Yeah. It's funny how wherever you have like high tire wear, usually creates good racing like that. Good racing, fast corners, and wow, that was so good.
Yeah, I loved it.
There was another comment as well, and there's another one. We're part of it to blame. Biggest issue nobody knows. TNT, obviously we work for. Great work. It's fantastic work. I'll put that. But we are part of the problem. Championship needs free-to-air highlights on race day. I sort of agree in a way. I mean, it is on Quest on Saturday. I don't know if people know about it enough.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it is on free-to-air on Quest. Quest don't promote it. We don't work for Quest. We work for we work for Warner Brothers Discovery, but we work for TNT. And so, I get it. People saying it's behind a paywall. I do. But then it comes back to the story of, even if you gave it for free to the BBC or ITV, I don't think they'd show it currently. I don't know if they would. I think you could possibly get it on iPlayer, and then you've got the same situation where it is, you have to go and find it. It's not going to be advertised. I don't think people are... ultimately, what I think is less people are watching TV than ever before. I think that's the situation.
That's fact, people
they watch it differently. They watch it very differently.
And so it's online now, and we are trying with our socials to do a bit more. A lot of people do watch 3-minute highlight packages. They watch it through your TikToks, watch it through to YouTube, watch it through Shorts to do that side of it. People consume it, and people do consume Formula One in that way. They do, and it's keeping the sport healthy. And so I think a lot of energy perhaps has to go towards that side of things. In my opinion, that's my opinion. And we're trying to do our bit by making things shorter. But I will say we are on free-to-air. Yes, it's on a Monday evening. I get that. On Quest, the highlights of the weekend. There is also a same-day delay on Saturday for the sprint. But it has been on other channels. It was on ITV occasionally here and there. But obviously they chosen not to do that. They've had the opportunity and not run with it. So it costs a lot of money to put something on free-to-air.
Do you know if it's on Quest every Monday, like the highlights? Do you know if that happens, Gav? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So see, even I didn't know. So
exactly. Maybe, I don't know if enough people know that. But that is a situation, and I understand. I get it. I did work for the BBC back in the day, and it was a golden era of the sport. Valentino Rossi, and it was great. It was on BBC Two and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, count how many sports are on the BBC. How many sports other than Olympic sports are on the BBC? And I think you'll come up with the fact that there's rugby league, and I think that's about it. correct me if I am wrong. I don't know. But if you're on others, I know rugby's on, but the rugby's also behind a paywall on TNT in the main. So there's the big argument there. Obviously, we're going to defend TNT and the work we do. But again, a lot of people would come to you when you're on the BBC and say, I want to watch it all on Eurosport. And they do. But most sports nowadays are behind a paywall. Eurosport was a paywall.
Yeah, you used to always get that, didn't you? Oh, we prefer Eurosport because obviously Eurosport did a full programme around, or more coverage like we do.
Well,
I guess,
they covered everything. They just went on the world feed, whereas on the BBC you do a programme around it like we do. Yeah. So with TNT, we always try to combine both worlds. We get every session. This isn't an advert for TNT, but you can watch every single session live and never get an advert in any, over any of the footage.
So Sylvain's had his BMW plug. You've had a TNT one. I don't know. I feel like I need.
Are you trying to extend your contract out?
These Sharpies.
Anyway, someone said
for signing contracts.
TNT got the contract for.
Gavin's in the middle of signing a 2-year extension, so
exactly.
Our
rights are for another 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, for TNT. Someone said it's out for into 2027, and I was like, oh God, it's got a mortgage.
Yeah, how?
Right, have you got anything to add to that, chaps, about Silverstone, about Donington, about those kind of things?
No, not at all. I think.
Do you want to sell something, Odgie? Have you got something to extend or sell? No, you're good.
I've definitely but I need to up my game for the next podcast. I'll have something to sell. Don't you worry. But do you know what? I think it's quite interesting because obviously we always ask for comments. But going through them, and it is mixed, obviously, like I thought it would be regarding Silverstone, but there's some really interesting comments there, both for and against. And that's why it seems like
the people who went, though, had a good day like we experienced. That was good to hear that. The people that were there, in the main, I'd say 95% of people have said they had a good experience. So that's got to be just having some positive noise about it.
Yeah, and as we know, when you look at any sort of TripAdvisor, if you've had a really bad experience, you complain, don't you? A lot of the times, but when you've had a decent experience, you come away and think, oh, that was all right, but I'm not going to write a review. But if you feel like really annoyed, you write a negative review, don't you? So the fact that we are getting positive comments, I think it genuinely feels like a step forward anyway. So obviously it's a long road ahead for the British Grand Prix, but there's green shoots.
Yeah. Sylvain, you got anything else to add? Anything other merch to...
No, I think that was great. I cannot take my eyes off my phone. I can't wait to reply to. It's James, his first name, that won the 5-year helmet. I cannot wait to ask him for his credit card details. That's it's tickling me this, and I can't wait to send it.
Right, well, I would not know.
So, let us know.
I'll let us know next week.
I'll let you know.
We'll be back. I tell you what, should we do this again?
Yeah.
Should we do this again next week?
Yeah.
Should we come back? Should we do a preview of the Aragon race next week?
We can talk about Aragon as well.
Neil, we could do it.
We'll be in Italy.
We'll be in Misano. Shall we do it from Misano or something when you've had to go on the Ducati or something like that?
Yeah.
And we could speak
do it on Wednesday.
Which day is it, Neil?
I'm riding on Wednesday.
What day is
a week tomorrow.
Wednesday. Wow. Are you really? I mean, we've not really talked about it. Actually, we've not even talked about it in private. Are you like super excited about this? You got to be. Are you a bit scared?
I'm all of the above. I can't wait. Obviously, I can't wait
because you would.
Why I'm slightly edgy because we don't know what we're getting, do we, Gav? Like essentially,
we're at the end of the day, aren't we?
We're at the end of the day, and I've asked if we can come along and film a start procedure so we can talk through how technical it is, how the bikes have advanced over the years, what it feels like going 0 to 60 in. Well, I'll be probably 2.5 seconds. So. We don't know how long we're going to get the bike for. We don't know if I can do how many laps they'll let me do. So it's not like, oh, you've got the bike for an hour and we're going to let you have a new set of tyres and you can do like 10 laps. So
and they're actually testing that day, aren't they, as well?
They are. They're testing.
So there might be things that needed to test. It might run on. You never know because we are at the end of the day.
Yeah, you never know.
Does that mean there'll be all the riders on track?
Sorry, Neil, you're breaking up. Have you spent enough on your Wi-Fi?
Sylvain, can you imagine?
So
can you imagine me being out on track with other riders? Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's when as well. It's the last hour when they actually do sort of qualifying. Like they have a go at lap times, don't they?
Can you imagine how horrible that would be? Like a sitting duck.
Well, I'm going to take my box of Elastoplast with me. You'll be all right, Neil. Don't worry about it. It'll all come out good in the end. Right, lads. I think we should do this again next week. It's going to be fantastic.
You know, what a privilege to be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll hopefully bring that to you on TNT coverage.
I'm going to
next week. Let's do that. Right. Until then, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. Sylvain, we'll speak to you remotely. We won't be seeing you in Aragon, so we'll speak to you remotely before you go off racing again at the Bol d'Or. Neil, I'll see you.
I am going to Aragon.
Oh, are you going?
I'm doing Aragon. Yeah. Bol d'Or is during Austria, so I'm doing Aragon and Misano.
Right, okay.
And then,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
We'll
and then
see
Austria.
All right.
So
well,
I'll see you there.
I'll tell you what, let's do another one of these episodes next week. Yeah? How's about that? Reminder, as always, you can contact us at Gas It Out Pod on Instagram and on YouTube. Leave us your comments. As you see, it's kept us entertained for an hour. Hopefully you've been entertained too. But for now, until the next time we reconvene, if in doubt,